The digital battlefield is heating up as Shiba Inu and Bitcoin prepare for a historic February showdown that could redefine the 2026 market landscape. While the king of crypto eyes the six-figure milestone, the underdog meme coin is quietly building a massive on-chain foundation. Are we witnessing a passing of the torch or a synchronized explosion? Stay tuned as we break down the data driving this rare market face-off. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more Shib news, be sure to click the like button. Please note that by the time you see this video, some rates may have changed. Financial advice is not included in this video. The current market environment in early 2026 is characterized by a maturing cryptocurrency landscape, where institutional adoption meets retail fervor. Bitcoin remains the undisputed leader, setting the pace for the entire industry, while Shiba Inu has evolved from a simple meme into a complex ecosystem featuring its own Layer 2 solution, Shibarium. This comparison focuses on how these two vastly different assets are currently correlating and competing for investor attention as we approach a critical monthly transition. To understand the significance of this face-off, one must look at the historical relationship between these two assets. Traditionally, Bitcoin leads the market, and altcoins like Shiba Inu follow after a delay. However, the start of 2026 has challenged this norm, with both assets showing simultaneous strength. This shift suggests a more sophisticated market where different investor classes are entering the space at the same time, driven by different motivations but sharing a common bullish outlook for the year ahead. According to reports, both Shiba Inu and Bitcoin have entered 2026 with significant momentum, creating a rare double bullish setup for February. Shiba Inu recorded a 25.9% rise as in January, significantly outperforming Bitcoin's 8.37% gain during the same period. This divergence suggests that retail interest in high beta assets is returning with a vengeance, even as Bitcoin stabilizes near its all-time highs. Analysts note that this synchronized surge is unusual, as capital typically flows from Bitcoin into altcoins sequentially rather than simultaneously. The event that has everyone talking is the February face-off, a term coined by market observers to describe the expected volatility as both assets hit major psychological and technical levels at the same time. For Bitcoin, it is the $100,000 mark, while for Shiba Inu, it is the elimination of another zero from its price. This convergence of milestones is creating a pressure cooker environment that could lead to one of the most explosive months in crypto history. According to data, market behavior has been electric following these gains. As of January 14, 2026, Bitcoin is trading at approximately $97,363, maintaining a massive market capitalization of around $1.9 trillion. Meanwhile, Shiba Inu is trading at 894 units, supported by a market cap of $5.2 billion. Trading volumes reflect this intensity, with Bitcoin processing over $32 billion in 24-hour volume, while Shiba Inu maintains a steady $188 million. The sentiment is cautiously optimistic, with the Fear and Greed Index showing a slight tilt toward greed as investors anticipate a February breakout. We are seeing a fascinating split in the market. Institutional investors are doubling down on Bitcoin as a hedge against global economic uncertainty, while retail traders are flocking back to Shiba Inu, drawn by its ecosystem developments and the potential for massive percentage gains. This dual-track rally is providing a floor for the entire market, preventing the deep corrections that were common in previous cycles. The liquidity being injected into both assets is creating a virtuous cycle of growth that is lifting the entire crypto sector. On-chain data provides the most compelling evidence for the building rally. The Shiba Inu burn rate skyrocketed by over 10,731% on January 1, 2026, removing 173 million tokens from circulation in a single day. Furthermore, whale accumulation hit a monthly high in mid-January. A notable fresh wallet inflow of 82 trillion Shiba Inu was recorded in early December, signaling that large-scale investors are positioning themselves for a long-term move. Bitcoin's on-chain metrics also show resilience, with exchange reserves hitting multi-year lows as holders move assets to cold storage. This supply shock is a critical component of the current rally. For Shiba Inu, the consistent burning of tokens is slowly but surely addressing the supply concerns that have historically capped its price potential. For Bitcoin, the lack of available supply on exchanges means that even a small increase in demand can lead to significant price jumps. The data shows that diamond hands are more prevalent than ever, with a record number of addresses holding their assets for more than a year, regardless of short-term price fluctuations. Expert commentary suggests that the February face-off is a result of shifting liquidity cycles. Shiba Inu's technical structure shows bullish MMAC momentum, targeting a short-term level of 950 units. In contrast, Bitcoin is facing a critical resistance zone between $99,000 and $102,000. The potential outcome is a second win for altcoins if Bitcoin can successfully flip its current resistance into support. However, if Bitcoin retraces to its $85,000 support level, the high volatility Shiba Inu could see a sharper correction, testing the resolve of its 2.89 million holders. The core of the analysis lies in the correlation between the two. While they are currently moving together, any decoupling could signal a major shift in market dynamics. If Shiba Inu continues to outperform Bitcoin in percentage terms, it could attract even more speculative capital, potentially leading to an alta season earlier than expected. Conversely, if Bitcoin breaks $100,000 and sucks the liquidity out of the rest of the market, Shiba Inu might see a temporary stagnation as traders chase the king's rally. The interplay between these two assets is the most important trend to watch in the coming weeks. That's all. Shiba Inu community remains highly engaged despite the relative silence of lead developer Kusama on social media since December. However, a recent blog post on the official site detailed the 36 chambers of tech, hinting at new Shibarium utilities and bone integration. On platforms like X, the Shib army is buzzing about a potential Coinbase whale, who recently became a Shiba Inu billionaire, fueling speculation about upcoming corporate partnerships or exchange listings. This grassroots support continues to be a primary driver of the token's social dominance. The community's ability to self-organize and promote the project is a unique strength that Bitcoin lacks in its more decentralized and institutionalized form. While Bitcoin has the backing of Wall Street, Shiba Inu has the backing of millions of passionate individuals who see the project as more than just an investment. This social capital is often undervalued by traditional analysts, but is clearly visible in the SUR. Token's resilience and ability to bounce back from market downturns. The upcoming Shibarium updates are expected to further solidify this community bond by providing more real-world use cases for the token. Looking ahead, the short-term outlook for February 2026 is highly dependent on the 950-unit resistance level for Shiba Inu. If breached, analysts predict a move toward 1,200 units by the end of the month. For Bitcoin, the focus remains on the psychological $100,000 barrier. In the long term, spanning the next 3 years, price models suggest Shiba Inu could average between 2,000 and 3,000 units as the ecosystem matures. Bitcoin is projected to solidify its position as digital gold, with targets ranging from $150,000 to $250,000 by 2029. These forecasts are based on the assumption that the current trend of institutional and retail adoption continues. For Shiba Inu, the key to reaching those long-term targets will be the successful implementation of its utility roadmap, transforming it from a meme coin into a foundational layer for decentralized applications. For Bitcoin, the path to $250,000 will likely be paved by its increasing role in national reserves and as a standard for global value transfer. Both assets are on a trajectory that suggests the 2026 rally is just the beginning of a much larger multi-year cycle. Despite the bullish sentiment, several cautionary points must be considered. The market is increasingly maturing, and investors are shifting focus toward utility-driven projects, which could leave pure speculative assets vulnerable. Additionally, the massive supply of Shiba Inu, currently around 585.29 trillion tokens, remains a significant hurdle for substantial price appreciation without even more aggressive burn mechanisms. For Bitcoin, Regulatory scrutiny and macroeconomic shifts, such as interest rate adjustments, continue to pose systemic risks that could dampen the 2026 rally. There is also the risk of exhaustion. After such a strong start to the year, the market might need a period of consolidation before it can move higher. Investors should be wary of over-leveraging their positions, as the volatility in February is expected to be extreme. A sudden flash crash in Bitcoin could trigger a cascade of liquidations in the altcoin market, including Shiba Inu. Maintaining a balanced portfolio and having a clear exit strategy is essential in this high-stakes environment. The face-off could just as easily lead to a temporary standoff as it could to a breakout. As the February face-off approaches, the data suggests a market on the brink of a major shift. Whether you are backing the institutional giant or the community-driven underdog, the next few weeks will be pivotal. We will continue to monitor the whales, the burns, and the charts to keep you ahead of the curve. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay addicted to the data. See you in the next update. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it, and subscribe to the channel.